So you guys are able to see my screen?
No, sir.
Are you guys able to see my screen?
No, sir.
How about now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today we're gonna discuss on the various SQL operators that are present in SQL Server and how you can utilize them and how it exactly works in the practical scenarios, and whenever you are doing the development, how you can use those operators in various scenarios for your development activity. Those things we're gonna learn today. Okay, so let's start with the details on that. So let's create one particular table, that is, you can say that span underscore emp. So under human resources database, to use the human resources database, I am using a command as I explained earlier. You can use the use command to switch from one database to another database. Currently, it is pointing to master. Now I am running this use human resources command where I can turn my database to human resources and check it out. Is there any data that is present? Data is present. So let's create one table, span underscore emp, which is having the four columns. Emp id is an integer column, which is identity also, and the employee name varchar 20, and salary, which is an integer data type, and department name, which is a varchar 20, is the table that I'm going to create. So I created a table. If I run the table, it should show us four columns with table creation part. So I'm able to see employee ID, employee name, salary, department name. Okay. Now I'm gonna insert four rows of a data into that particular table. Since the first column, which is employee ID, is an identity column, no need to pass the value because automatically it gives the SQL server gives the serial number with the unique values, which is the seed and increment kind of a stuff, where it is giving the from starts from one and ends till the data that we gonna insert. That many rows it gonna insert. So other values you are passing. What are the other values? Employee name, salary, and department name. All these three values you are passing into table. What is the command that you gonna write for the insertion of the data? Insert into span underscore emp values, pass the employee name, salary, and corresponding department name. CS, database, java, .net, all these different categories of data that I'm going to insert. Now I will insert four rows together. So all the four rows are affected. Now I am able to see the data into this table. Let's run and see this table data. See, four rows are got inserted into this table. Now today, as I said, we're gonna learn on the what are the different operators that are available in the SQL Server, right? So what is the purpose of the select command? First thing, before getting into that different various operators in the SQL Server, we will learn more on the select command. What is the select star from emp table, right? If I write like this is the select command. So what are the things that involved with this select command? One is to display the rows from one or more table, right? Whenever you run the select command, you will be able to see the data that is present in that table or more table. Whatever the table that I'm giving in the from class, it is going to display the data that are present in that table. So that is what it is going to explain here. To display the data rows from one or more tables, and also to create a new table from the existing table. So one more command is possible. Example, there is a span emp table is there, right? If I want to create exact replica of the same table with the other name, just like a duplicate table, which is already existing in the database but different table name, then it is possible with the select command. How? Let me show you. Example, currently span emp table is there. If I run this, there is a data present of 4 rows. Say like one more table that I am wishing to create exact replica of span emp table, from which is the name that I am going to give for that table is duplicate. Okay, say the name of the table that I'm going to wish to create as a duplicate of the span emp is span emp underscore dup. That is the table that I'm wishing to, or my requirement is to create the duplicate of the table which is exact replica of span emp table. Let's check it out, that table is existing in human resources or not. Currently this table is not present in human resources, which is the name of span emp underscore duplicate. As I said, now coming back, to create a new table from the existing table, from the select command, it is possible to create the exact replica of the table that is already existing in the database. How you gonna create it? Let's write the command for that. So select, same thing, star into, so you have to say, in place of from you have to say into. You have to select all the columns, and into is the command. Into means you have to put the data which is present in the table of span emp into which table, the table that I'm wishing to create as a duplicate of span emp, right? So that is the table name here. Select star into span emp underscore duplicate from, what? From is your original table which is nothing but span emp. If I give like this, it will create exact replica of span emp table, as well as all the data that is present in span emp will dump into span duplicate. It is exact replica of that, right? Now, as I said, if I run this span emp duplicate, there is no table exists as such, right? But now if I run this select star into span emp duplicate, from span emp table I am able to create the new table which is of 4 rows affected, exact replica of span emp table. So let's run the above query and see whether the duplicate table is created or not. See, it is got created now. So what is the thing that you need to know is, you can create a exact replica of new table from the existing table of the database from the select command. How you can write it? Select star into the duplicate table, whatever the new table name that you are wishing to create, from that table name, and from which table, already existing table. That is the statement command how you need to write to create the new table. That's what it written here. You can create new table from the existing table, and to copy the data from one table to another table, you created a new table which is span emp duplicate, and also you copied the data that is present in span emp to emp data duplicate. You saw, right? Already data is copied. Okay, one more thing. Now I will just drop, to show you one more thing, I will just drop this span emp duplicate table. Okay, so I'm just dropping, where is drop command here, right? Let's drop this. So I dropped this table. Now if I run the select on duplicate table, it is not present, right? So invalid object. Now the only thing which I am used here is I created a duplicate table from the existing table, right? With the data which is already present in span emp. When I run this command, it created a table. On top of that, whatever the data that is present in span emp, that is also copied to emp duplicate, right? But if I do not want to copy the data from span emp, I just want to create a duplicate table of span emp. I just want to create a table, but I do not want to copy the data which is present in the span emp to span duplicate. If that is the case, how you can write a command is the same thing, only one thing is different is where clause. Okay, select star into that duplicate table from existing table, that is span emp, where 1 is equals to 2. What is the meaning of 1 is equal to 2? 1 never is equal to 2, right? If you, in general scenario, 1 is that 1 value is equal to 2. 1 is different, 2 is different. 1 cannot be, 1 ever, never ever can be 1 equal to 2, right? If this is the class that I am passing into this where class, that means you are going to create a duplicate table, but you need not to copy the data that is present in the span emp table. That's how it works. So it will create the duplicate table which is currently not present in the database with the existing table of span emp, but it will not copy the data if there is a where class which is given the false where class, right? See, if I write this, so 0 rows affected, the table got created. Let's check it out. The table got created, but data is not copied. That's how it works. But if I'm not giving this where class, that means I'm copying everything which is present into this, right? Let's run that and check. I already showed you. Or else you can give 1 equal to 1 also. If I give 1 equal to 1, that means 1 is 1 equal to 1, right? If I do that, you will be able to copy the data also. Let's check it out. So span duplicate is not present now. I just dropped that to show you the demonstration. So if I run one where 1 equal to 1 or without where class, that also it creates the table and also dumps the data. See, 4 rows affected because the class that you gave is correct, where 1 equal to 1. So it will create the table and also it dumps the data into that table. So from the select command, you can create a new table and also you can copy the data from one table to another table. Okay, that's the understanding of this. And from the select statement, you can create the views, you can create the cursors, you can create the CTEs, common table expressions, you can create the subqueries, etc. So that we're gonna learn later point. But just remember that from the select commands, you can going to create the views, you can create the cursors, you can create these common table expressions and subqueries. All those are possible. Okay, now let's get into the other part of it. As I said, there are multiple operators that are present in the SQL server. Those are, what are these operators? Operators are is nothing but you can say that there is a greater than equal to or less than equal to or distinct data, or you can say that you want to restrict the particular data which you want to pull from the main table, and you are willing to sort the data that is present in the table. All these are possible using various operators that are given by SQL Server. So we can learn one by one. Okay, so first one we can learn ascending and descending. Okay, there is a table called, so first one we can learn the distinct and then all these clauses, right? Where, order by, and, or, not, like, between, how exactly all these operators are going to work in the SQL server, we're gonna learn about it. So let's start with the basic one. So just run currently existing data which is there in the span emp. Span emp is having a 4 rows which is Alex, John, Raj, Kumar and all, and salary is 1000, 3000, 3000, 2500. Okay, and CS department, database name java.net, right? If you observe distinct, so what is distinct, I will tell you. So currently if you see, what is the salary column is having, salary column is having 1000, 30,000, 30,000, and 25,000. So if you observe here, so 30,000 and 30,000 is a duplicated data. I mean to say there are two people in the employed table whose salary is equals to 30,000. So two people are there in the company whose salary is equal 30,000, 30,000. But my requirement is I want to pull the, what are the, in the salaries slab, the example, there is a company and owner of the company wants to see what are the different slabs of the salary employees that are present in the company. Example, 10 people are getting 1000 rupees, another 10 people are getting 30,000, another 10 people are getting 25,000, another 10 people are getting 1 lakh thousand, and blah blah blah, so and so, so and so, so and so, right? If that is the case, I want to see what are my different distinct slabs of the salary persons that are present in the company. If I want to see what are the different distinct means unique number of salaries, how many unique number of salaries are present here. If you see, right, 1000 is one unique, there are no other person who is getting 1000, so this is one unique. And 30,000 and 30,000, there are two people, but what is the unique thing here? 30,000 is only one distinct. And if I see only 125,000, so there you can say that there are three distinct salary slabs are present in this table. Like that we can understand, right? Distinct means basically it will remove the duplicates if there are any, and it will give what are the my distinct values present in my table and the database. That's how the distinct works, right? So if I run this command, select distinct, this is how you're gonna write. So you have to give the distinct command right before the column name which you're going to define on the table. So in this case, select distinct salary from which table? Span underscore emp table. If I give like this, currently we are having four different rows of the salary, but if I run the distinct command on this salary column, it will give three rows of a data which is distinct together: 1000, 30,000, and 25,000. It will not give duplicate of 30,000 because distinct operates to find out the distinct values present in the column and the table. So that's how it is gonna work, right? So let's run these two together so that you will get an idea. So you're gonna run select emp and select distinct. Okay, you run both together like this so that you will get a better understanding. If I give select salary column from span emp, that is one command, and then is another command which is I'm added with a distinct command here, select distinct salary column from span emp table. If I run these two together, it will say that the first command will give you four rows of a salary columns, but the second command it will give three because it will pick the distinct values of the salary column data. See, this part is gave you four rows: 1000, 30,000, 30,000, and 25,000. The second, which is ran with a distinct command, it gave you three rows because there is a duplicate data that is present as 30,000, and from that it gonna pick the distinct value of only one. So if there are any n number of duplicate values are there, when you run the distinct command, it will help you to pick the unique values of the data from each set of the data available in the table. That's how gonna distinct is gonna work. Hope you understood what is distinct. Now, second one is where clause. So what is where clause? Where clause is example in the span emp table. There are four rows present, right? It is having 1000. Sorry, I can run this together data. If I run like this, so there are four rows with the names and everything, right? But I want to filter out. If I want to filter any data which is present in the table, then I have to use the command called where clause. So how it is gonna work? So it will scan out entire table set of a data and picks the where clause which I gave as the filter data. That particular data it is gonna filter out and give you the result. That's how it is gonna work, right? Example: select span emp. If I run four rows will come, but I want to, my intention is I want to see the data. I want to see the employee names and the department names and employee IDs, whose salary is, who are the employees taking the salary 30,000. If that is the result that I want to see from the table employee span emp table, then my command of the select, how I gonna write with the operator called where clause. This is how I gonna write. How? Okay, select star from span emp where salary is equal to 30,000. If I salary is equal to 30,000, I'm asking the database that, hey, go and fetch the data in the span emp table whose salary is equal to 30,000. Whoever the employees are getting the salary as 30,000, please display me the result of those employees. So with this where class, this is how I am gonna achieve that. See, so when I pass this as a where class, I am able to see the result set whose salary is equal to 30,000. Like this, you can write anything that you want to write. I mean to say, example, I want to see the employee name called Raj, whose salary, I want to say the salary and the department details of the employee names Raj. If that is the case, how I gonna write? Same query. I can say that where, what is the column name? Emp name, right? Emp name is equals to Raj. If I pass like this, it will display the salary or and the details of the employee whose name is Raj. See, it displayed only that. So you can filter out the data with the use with the operator called where. Okay. And one more thing, if I want to display multiple values in the where class, okay, and you can pass the multiple values into that particular where class as well. How you gonna write it? But the only thing is you have to use the in class along with the where class. You have to pass it as a in means you can pass the multiple values into this where class, right? Example, my requirement is I want to see the employees detail whose salary is 30,000 as well as 1,000, because there are multiple values, the employees detail that I want to fetch. If that is the case, how you gonna write the query? Query is select star from span emp, which table is the table is the table name, and where class where salary. Here in place of is equals to, you have to use the in class. In, open bracket, and pass the first one 30,000, and also second one, right, whoever 1,000. Then pass comma, give one more value which is 1,000, and close the bracket. If I write like this, it will able to fetch the salary of the employee details whose salary is 30,000 as well as 1,000. Let's see. See, I am able to see the result set of 1,000 as well as 30,000. Whoever the employee is getting that much salary. So, what you need to understand is where clause. Along with that, if you want to pass on the multiple values into that where clause, you have to have use the in clause along with open bracket and close bracket with the comma separated values that you're gonna pass it. Example, one more thing, you can change it and try it. You can try multiple values so that you will get an understanding of it. So if I want to fetch the 25,000 person also, if that is the case, you have to pass 25,000 as well as 1,000. If you pass like this, it will fetch you 25,000 as well as the 1,000 who is getting the salary. So that's how where clause and in clause will work. Okay. And next one, so currently, you want to understand order by class. What is order by? Order by is nothing but if there is a data that is present in the table, you want to set the data. I mean, you want to see the data or display the data in ascending order or in descending order. I mean to say, ascending and descending, you guys know what is ascending and descending, right? If the numbering is going on ascending, small to big, big to small, right? That is what ascending and descending part of it. And currently if you see the span emp data, so if you see, right, employee id is 1 2 3 4 5, but I want to see the salary in the salary of the employee details whose salary should be in ascending or descending. So if you observe, right, 1,000 is very small, and 30,000 is the third highest, and 25,000 is the second highest. This is not in the ascending order or descending order. Not in the small to big also, big to small is also not present. But my requirement is I want to display this data with the salary ascending manner. Then you have to write command such as, there is a class, as I said, there is an operator that is already present in the database SQL server, which is given by Microsoft, that is order by class. Order by class will help you to do the ascending and descending order of the data that is present in the table, right? So select star from span emp table, order by, this is the syntax which you have to follow to do the order by of any data in the present in the table. So order by salary, which column you want to order by, what is the, you have to target which column you specifically want to see in the ascending or descending order. That column name you have to mention here. After order by, you have to mention the column name, whether you want to see it is in the ascending manner or in descending manner. Based on that, you have to you have to decide and pass on ASC. ASC is ascending. If you mention ASC, that means you want to see the employee data with the order by of salary column, which should be in a ascending order. Okay, that's the way to write the command. See, now if I run this query, if you see, right, 1,000, is the second highest, which is 1,000 is a very small one, which is in the beginning itself it is showed up. 25,000 is the second highest, which is displaying here. 30,000 is the third highest, which is displaying right after 25,000. So it made the changes and it showed in the ascending order of the salary data by using the class called order by salary ascending. Okay, but if my requirement is to display the salary data in the descending manner, from bigger value to smaller value, if that is the case, 30,000 should be first one, and 25,000 is the second one, and 1,000 is the last one. If that is the order of the data that I want to see in the table and display the data, then you have to write a command called select star from table, order by the column name which you want to sort out, and either in a descending or ascending manner. Right here, in this case, you want to display the data in descending manner. If you want to write like that, see, you will be able to see the data in a descending manner in the sorting of the data which is on the salary column. That is 30,000 is the first one, 25,000 second one, 1,000 is the last one. So you need to understand there is a order by clause which is present, and you can sort out the data as you wish, either in ascending or descending manner based on your requirement, but you need to know the option that is present in the SQL server. So this is how gonna work in order by clause. Okay, and one more thing, there is another operator called and, or, not, like, between. Let's understand all these as well. And clause is, you know, right, and condition should be, both the conditions should be satisfied. That is the and condition. Or condition is either one condition satisfies, it displays that data. It is no mandatory that both the conditions should satisfy in our class, but in and clause, whatever the condition that I'm going to pass on with the and clause, both the conditions should be displayed, then only the data will be displayed. If either one condition fails, that is not going to display out the data, right? So that's, let's understand how it gonna work. So if I want to display the salary of the employee details whose salary is 30,000 and the database should be is the department. If you see, right, salary is 30,000 and the department name is database. My requirement is I want to see the employee details whose salary is in the slab of 30,000, and also their department should be the database. If any other department is present and taking the salary of 30,000, that employee data I do not want to see. If that is the condition, by looking at the data, by looking at the analysis of the data, you need to write the and clause of it. There are two conditions involved. One is salary should be in the 30,000 slab. Second one is his department must and should be in the database. There is no other department. He should be mapped across. That data I do not want to see. In this case, if you see, right, 30,000 employee John is mapped to database department. But there is another guy called Raj who is that is whose salary is 30,000, but that guy is serving the job for the Java department. I do not want to see that data. If that is the case, then the and clause how you gonna write in the table is select star from table name and salary, where salary is equals to 30,000, and clause, and which is the other condition which is must and should be matched is department name is equal to database. See here, either you can use the is equal to or in clause, but up to you. If you are passing a multiple values, then in clause, and if you are passing only one value, then you can use the is equal to clause as well, right? So as I said, when you are using a and command, both the values should be matched. So I, as my requirement is 30,000 and whose department is database, if that is the case, if I run this query, it will give you the 30,000 and database name as the department, right? But in the or condition, this is and condition, both the conditions should be satisfied, that data only it got displayed. But in the or condition, what will happen is, so there are two things involved here. One is you are passing the you are asking the database to display the salary details of the employees whose salary is in equal to 30,000. That is one condition. Or department name is equal to database. So both the condition, either one condition satisfied, that data will be displayed. In this condition, since there is you passed the where condition as salary equal to 30,000, there are two employees with a salary of 30,000. That is the first one satisfied, it displays. And second one is database. That is also satisfies only one employee. But in this case, since you are passing it as a or clause, there are two records it will be displayed, because there are or condition, either one condition satisfies, it displays that data. That is how it is gonna work. See, two people it got displayed because you already passed the condition with the salary equal to 30,000 or database name is equal to database, department name is equal to database. Either one condition satisfies, it displays the data. So there is a salary equal to 30,000 which is having the two employees mapped to that 30,000, it displayed the data. Okay, so you understood and clause and or clause. And clause, both the conditions should be satisfied, then only the data will be displayed. If either one condition is satisfied in the R class, the data will be displayed. It doesn't mean that second is mandatorily need not to be satisfied that condition. Okay. So now my requirement is another operator called not in clause or not equal to anything, right? So example, my requirement is there are four employees that is present in the employee table. My requirement is I want to see the only I want to exclude some people. I mean to say, there are 1 2 3 4 4 1 2 3 4 employee IDs are present, but I do not want to see some employee IDs. I want to see the only first employee ID. Rest all I do not want to see, or I want to see the fourth employee ID alone, who is mapped to fourth employee ID. I do not want to see the rest of three people. Then I can exclude the values. I can exclude the values of that particular employee ID with the help of not in class. In class will include the value. Try to get the filter out of that. Not in means exclude. Exclude the data which is present in that particular column and particular data set values as well. So what is the meaning of this statement? Select star from span emp where employee id not in. Not in means not equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3. I am saying to the database and the table that, hey, do not display the data of the employees whose employee id is equals to 1 or 2 or 3. Display the rest of the things what apart from these three employee ids. So what is the employee ID that is left with here? 4, right? It should display when I use the not in class only the fourth employee. See here, it displayed only employee ID 4 Kumar 25,000.net. In my either case, so I do not want to display only the employee ID 1. Rest all I want to see. If that is the case, then you have to pass in only one exclusion of the employee id, one. So select star from table where employee id not in one. If I pass this, it exclude the result set of employee id 1, and rest of the employee id's data will be displayed. That is 2, 3, and another employee id 4, right? All those results set will be displayed, but you cannot see the employee id 1 data set in the result. See here, you cannot see the employee ID 1. Rest all you can see because you excluded, specifically excluded the employee ID 1 from not in class. So, not in basically to help and exclude the data which you do not want to display or you do not want to see from the database and the table. And next one is like operator. Like operator is basically, it's just like a like, I mean, it's not the entire data set should be matched. In some of the characters should be matched and it will display the data, right? So in my case here, there is a employee id, employee names, right? If you see, right, John is there, Raj is there, Kumar is there. But I want to see a employee id or employees names whose name starts with J, right? I want to display the data, I want to see the data which is whose employee name starts with J. If that is the requirement, then you can use the like command. Like is nothing but you want to see any like values are present in that table or column or not, right? So you can see that span emp table where employee name like starts with J. So the command that you need to write is, and the syntax that you need to follow is select star from table name where employee name column, because employee name column is having the different names of the column employees, right? So I want to display the employees whose name starts with J, right? So where employee name like is the operator which you need to use, and in the single quotes you need to pass the character which name the start is gonna start from. So I want to display the name whose name starts with J alone. If that is the case, single quotes, pass the J value, and you have to give the percentage at the end. That means if you are giving the percentage at the end, means you are telling to the SQL server that, hey, please display me the employee names whose name starts with J. That's the requirement, right? So if you give the percentage at the end of the character, that means the value starts with that particular character is the understanding, and close with the single quote. If I pass this, it will show you the name of the employees whose name starts with J. That is in this case John. John is the J is the first letter of the employee name, right? That is what it is displayed when you pass the character J with a like command, and percentage you are giving at the end of that character. Exactly the vice versa of this one is, if I want to display the employee name details whose name ends with a character of N. N. N means the John. In the John, N is the last letter, right? If I want to display the employee result set in the entire employees table, I want to display whoever the names ends with N. If that is the ends, not in the starts. If it is ending with the N, then display that result set. If that is the case, right? The same thing, select star from table employee name like is the commander, but the only thing is if you want to display the end character, right, the percentage should be given in the beginning of that character itself. So percentage in the beginning, and I'm passing it as a N. If I pass this as N as the value, it will give you the result set whose employee names ends with the N. In this case, John is the N is ends with John, so that will be displayed. See here, N. Okay, one more thing. If I want to display the employee result set whose names ends with R, R for red. If that is the result set that I want to display, the same thing. Employee name like percentage in the beginning, R is the character that you're gonna pass. If you see here, right, it is displayed Kumar, whose name ends with R. R for red. Similarly, whoever the name ends with the J, right? If I want to display the employee name details whose name ends with the J, then you have to pass the J here, right? Or one more operator, one more similar case. So if you put it at the end, that is the beginning of the letter. If you put it at the beginning of the percentage, that means end letter. If you put a letter in between, right, in the employee name column, there are multiple names will be present. Kumar, John, Raj, all these are present, right? But I want to see who in the employee name column, whoever the names is having a character called J. Either it's in the beginning or end, doesn't matter for me. Either if any employee name whose name is at least having a J, please display me those employee name details. If that is my requirement, then select star from span emp table, where employee name and the like commander, you have to give single quote and percentage and the character and again percentage. If you do not want to see any end character or first character or last character, doesn't matter. If that character is present in the entire data name, employee name column set, please display me those results. If I pass like this, it will display the name of the employees whose name at least it is having a character of J. That is what it is gonna do. Let's see. See, if you see, right, John J is present, that's why it is displayed. Raj J is present, that's why it is displayed. If there is another name, employee 4, R, I can J, what is the name I can say? Mm, some RJ, RJ, only RJ is present. Okay, RJK is present. Then J is in between also. That is also fine. It will display that letter. It will display that particular name of the employee. So what I mean to say is, in employee name column, if any employee name is having a J letter, then it will display. Either it's a start or the end, doesn't matter. In between also is fine. If there is a J letter is present, it is gonna display the data. That is how it is gonna work. Okay. So that is about the like command, and the last one is between. What is between? Between means the range. Example, there is a range of the salaries are present, range of the employee ID present. Example, I want to display the employee details whose salary between 24,000 to 30,000. I want to see in between one slab. I want to see the employee details whose salary slab is in between 24,000 to 30,000. If I want to display, or if I want to fetch the data from the table with that kind of a result set, then there is a command or there is a operator that is present in the SQL server which help us to get the details. What is that command? It is between. Between is helps us to fetch the data in between the range of the values. So select star from span emp, where column name is salary, between is the operator which you want to pass on. Between what? Range of the values. Range of the values is that I'm passing here is 24,000 and 30,000. I am asking the SQL server to display the salary of the employee details whose salary is in between the 24,000 to 30,000. That's my requirement. And let's see how many employees are there with that salary slab. See, 25,000, which is above the 24,000 or between the 24,000 to 30,000. That's why it is displayed. And there is a 30,000 also, which I gave as a in between. So that's why it is displayed the 25,000, 30,000, and 30,000. But it doesn't display you the salary details of the employees whose salary is 1,000 is also present in this employee table, but it is not displayed because I passed the between operator saying that 24 to 30. That is the range value that I passed. That's why it is giving the only results out of these three. Example, one more thing. I want to display whose salary is from 1000 to 10,000. Only that much. Do not want to see the employee details whose salary beyond 10,000 or above 10,000. Only I want to see between 1,000 to 10,000. If that is the requirement, select star from table and where salary between is the operator and 1,000 to 10,000. So it is displayed only Alex salary 1,000, department name is CS. It is not displayed any other employee details which is beyond 10,000. So that's the understanding. And also if I want to see the employee details whose employee ID is in between 1 to 3, I do not want to see beyond 3. Then employee ID column between 1 and 3. If I pass like this, it will display the employee names or employee IDs whose ID is between 1 and 3. 1, 2, 3. It is not displayed the fourth employee ID, even it is present in the database or the table, because I gave a clause that between 1 and 3. So that's it about the select. So select commands and what and all the things that you can do with the select commands. So you can create the table, you can copy the data, you cannot copy the data, you just create the table, and you can use it for the views, you can use it for cursor, cities, subqueries, and everything. And there are multiple operators that are present in SQL Server is distinct, where, order by, and, or, not, like, between. All these operators, how it is going to work with the data set, I demonstrated, I showed you how exactly it works. And please go back, practice, and practice more and more so that it will be helpful for you. That's it. So you guys understood, or any other questions? Guys, any questions for me with this session?
No, sir.
Okay, if not, we are good to close this call. If there are any questions, please ask me, we can explain. Thank you all.